What's up, Mets fans? Welcome back to the True Mets Talk podcast. It is December 28th, and today we're going to be talking about a potential Lucas Giolito signing. Most recently, the Mets have been rumored to be interested in the right-handed pitcher, and we're going to be talking about who I think the Mets' very next move is going to be in terms of acquiring this offseason. Make sure you're commenting your thoughts and opinions. It is a very open-ended episode. I want to hear what you all have to think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button. You already know what to do for more Mets content, and hit that thumbs up. I definitely appreciate it. You know all my social media handles at CPNY Sports for more podcast updates and for more Mets talk in general. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, as you can see on your screen, as I mentioned, the Mets have had recent interest in Lucas Giolito per multiple reports. This is going to be a very short podcast episode, but this is going to be me explaining why I do like a Lucas Giolito potential signing for the New York Mets. As you can see in 2023, he had his ups and downs. The ERA was not great at 4.88, bouncing around a couple of different teams, but the innings pitched and the workload that he went through and is able to possess moving forward in a potential Mets, not reunion, but a potential Mets signing for Lucas Giolito is something that attracts me to Lucas Giolito in terms of adding him to this rotation, a rotation that is full of uncertainty right now behind Kodai Senga, especially with the injury history last season of Jose Quintana, as well as Luis Severino's recent injury history, and not much right after those three guys in the rotation. I know we have Adrian Hauser, but this is a very uncertain rotation in 2024, and Lucas Giolito could provide some flexibility, some stability, and some relief off of the other starting pitchers in 2024 by throwing and replicating 180 plus inning season. Now you see the strikeouts also. It really helps that Lucas Giolito possesses a changeup and a slider that he throws at around the same clip at around 28% with heavy, heavy movement on those pitches. North of 200 strikeouts for the 2023 season in those 184 innings pitched is absolutely great. The FIP was not great. That is an adjusted ERA, one of the more advanced metrics. Anything in the threes is considered great in terms of the FIP category in the standard, but you can see it was at a 5.27 in 2023. So that is something to make note of 100%. And the home runs, he did not keep the ball in the ballpark in 2023, gave up 41 home runs, the most of his career, if I'm not mistaken. That does worry me a lot, but like I said, the value and sort of where the Mets are this offseason in terms of how they're utilizing 2024 as a potential bridge year to 2025, given all of the moves that we've seen or lack thereof this offseason. Lucas Giolito on a one-year deal, even a two-year deal would be great. And the reason why I say a two-year deal is not bad for Lucas Giolito is that he can automatically be thrown into the back end of the rotation in 2025. Guys like Jose Quintana and Luis Severino, if he does not impress the Mets on this prove-it-year deal that they just signed him to, will be exiting the team following the 2024 season. So having that foundation, that foundational piece in the back end in Lucas Giolito would be certainly an advantage heading into the 2025 offseason. And as well as Quintana and Severino, newly acquired Adrian Hauser also will be a free agent in the 2025 offseason. So it would be in the Mets' best interest to lock up Lucas Giolito. And if it's a two-year deal, I certainly would not be mad at that. He obviously hasn't replicated anything close to what his 2019 All-Star season entailed, but he is capable of striking hitters out and providing relief for this rotation. So I am fully on board with the Lucas Giolito signing. We'll continue to monitor that situation. Like I said, Mets have heavy interest in the right-hander. He has sort of a weird arm angle with that short arm action, but his stuff definitely does play, and it fits right into what the Mets and David Stearns have been prioritizing so far this offseason, which is pitching with a lot of movement and possessing that slider. Now, moving on, what is the Mets' next move? Nelson and I on the Interstate Mets Report Twitter account. If you do not follow us, it's at Interstate Mets. We ran a poll with over 50 votes on it asking what the general public and what Mets fans thought the next move for this team was going to be. Obviously, not going to take into consideration any sort of minor league bullpen move or a two-way bullpen move like the Mets have done a lot so far this season. We're talking about a major move or a semi-major move. And we asked the public whether it was going to be via trade or whether it was going to be a free agent signing. And you can see about 3/4 of the voters chose a free agent signing. Now, with that being said, Rob and I were talking about it, and so were Nelson and I on our respective Mets podcasts about the Mets most likely, in our opinions, are going to make a move, a trade that is going to come out of left field that nobody sees coming because that is the Mets MO. They have traded out of the blue for Brooks Raley and before that, Chris Bassett. So a trade for a pitcher would certainly not surprise me. A starting pitcher for this rotation with the holes in this rotation moving forward. Now, like I said, we just got done talking about Lucas Giolito. So whether the play is signing Lucas Giolito and then making a trade, then that is certainly going to play for 2024 and where this team is heading for that season. But we haven't really talked about offense outside of maybe a couple of Michael A. Taylor talks and then the Mets pivoting to Tyrone Taylor and that Adrian Hauser trade that is bringing Tyrone Taylor over to Queens. We haven't talked about the bats. Now, we did hear some reports and some murmurs that the Mets were interested in Justin Turner. I firmly believe that a reunion is on the table. And if I had to choose, in my humble opinion, the New York Mets' next move is going to be bringing Justin Turner in to be the everyday DH for the Mets in 2024. Now, it remains to be seen whether he wants a 1-year or 2-year deal. This is also a guy, even at the age of 39 years old, that I would be interested in bringing in for 2 years if that's what it took. If that's what Justin Turner and his camp are demanding from the Mets, he could be a great bench piece for this 2025 team and this organization in 2025 while he takes on the majority of the workload as DH in 2024. And as everyone has pointed out and everyone knows, he does provide flexibility in the field, can relieve Pete Alonso at first base if Pete Alonso needs a day off or he wants to DH. Also, if Brett Beatty struggles or also needs a day off, definitely has the capability of playing third base here and there. Like I said, don't expect too much from him in the field, but he is a guy coming off of a great season offensively, hitting 278 and north of 20 home runs, which the Mets desperately need. They need power, and that's been a focal point on all of these podcasts, whether it's with myself, Rob, or Nelson. We've all been talking about it. This team needs power behind Pete Alonso, and Justin Turner certainly is capable of that. So, like I said, make sure you hit the comment section. Who is going to be the Mets' next move? Is it going to be a trade? Is it going to be a free agent signing? And who is it going to be? Like I said, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you're commenting your thoughts and opinions. Hit that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. I thoroughly appreciate it. On the way to 350 subscribers. I would love to get there sooner rather than later. So thank you for the support. Tell your friends, tell your family that may love the New York Mets or our MLB fans in general to check out the podcast and the channel. You know where to find me. All my social media handles are at CPNY Sports, X, Instagram, YouTube, all that good stuff. We're going to be coming out with more Mets content, whether it's on here, whether it's the Interstate Mets Report that's going live this Friday in 2 days. Mark your calendars for that. And whether it's the Mets Hot Stove on the Mets Roundtable podcast with Talking Mets with Rob and Mets with Hayden. Without further ado, like I said, thank you so much for watching this video. Comment your thoughts and opinions. I want this to be interactive, so hit that comment section. I'll definitely reply. This is not a one-size-fits-all in terms of what we think this team is going to do next. Nobody knows the Mets' next move. That's why I think this offseason and how the Mets front office has been going about this sort of free agency and offseason in general has been so underrated. Nobody really knows, and they keep everyone in the dark until they don't. So, like I said, let's go Mets. Until the next podcast, I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching the latest episode of the CP New York Sports Pod. If you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that thumbs up, comment your thoughts and opinions, and use the lower right-hand button of this video to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.